Welcome to Nintendo's Duck Hunt. Death Race 2000 edition. That's right. In this episode, we got a 64-year-old grandmother who is beyond a monster. She's like a demon behind the wheel, all because a mama duck and her ducklings messed up her yard a little bit. Now she decides to play road rage like she's playing San Andreas Grand Theft Auto in a residential neighborhood, and it was all caught on film. So vicious and so disturbing that I won't be able to play the whole video. But right here, you get grandma making a final attempt to just smash, that's right, Frogger style, the mama duck. Bam. In this footage, you can see she's trying to get the mama duck to finish the job. But as you can see, the mama duck and her two surviving babies dodge her strike as the speed demon grandma makes her escape. That's right, look closely. You can see there's two ducklings still with the mama as they escape into another yard as she tries to Frogger style them. There's a blurry picture right there. I'll place an arrow. And that is what I'm assuming to be the deceased ducks that demon grandma has already unalived. 64-year-old Beverly Salisbury, pictured right here, was arrested in Jacksonville, Florida on April 30th, 2026, after she intentionally ran over 11 baby ducks. That's right. She ran over with her red car where it was splattering red duck body fluid all over her car. She unalived them ducks because she was unhinged, because the ducks were doing what ducks do, and they were chewing grass, which happened to be the grass in her yard, or they were pooping in her yard. Ducks tend to poop in grass, right? They don't differentiate between it being your nice mowed lawn or just some average grass. Ducks don't think to themselves, oh, I'm just going to poop and chew up your grass just to mess with you, Beverly. Nah, that's not how it goes. So I can imagine her sitting in her house with the window open, and she's having that morning cup of coffee, and everything's going good. Tastes just like I want it to taste. And then she looks out that window, and this is the day after she probably went in her yard and cleaned it up a little bit from the ducks pecking at the grass, and her blood just went to boiling. And man, she opened that door. She said, "Get on out of here! Shoot! Get on out of here, you ducks!" But see, that's okay. You can shoo the ducks out your yard, whatever. But then she goes from shooing the ducks out the yard, I'm assuming, to where she says, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm about to take matters into my own hand. I'm going to start doing duck justice, duck hunt, Death Race 2000 style. She gets her keys. She probably don't grab her wallet, her license. She probably grabbed an extra sip of coffee just to get that mojo going. And she just cranked that car up. And she just went wide open after all those ducks. There was 13 baby ducks. She managed to unalive 11 of them. And mama got away with 2 ducks to live to tell the rest of the duck world about the crazy road rage woman who tried to take their lives and unfortunately took the lives of their siblings. This is a sad story, man. It just goes to show you that society's unhinged. I had people tell me that if a cat is walking on your car to leave out antifreeze, and I'm like, nah, man, I ain't doing that. Even if the cat unintentionally scratches my car, I don't want the cat hurt. I don't want to harm the cat. I have a yard. Lately, possums and raccoons, probably specifically possums, could be the raccoons, but I think it's more the possums than the raccoons. They've been digging in my yard. I don't want them to dig in my yard. I got craters and holes when I go to cut my grass that there's enough dirt piles that it's making my lawnmower stop, and I'm having to get the rake and even it out. I don't want to see the possums or the raccoons lose their life because they're digging holes in my yard. They don't know that they're causing me an inconvenience, and neither did the ducks. We are so unhinged as a society that people like Beverly Salisbury continue to do evil things like get in their car and squish baby ducks because she's so unhinged. Then when the neighbors had the audacity to film it, where do you think the film footage comes from? The neighbors saw her doing what she's doing. They were so shocked, they didn't know what to do because everybody loves the ducks. Give the ducks a piece of bread, don't give the ducks a piece of bread. The ducks are in your yard, shoo the ducks away, the ducks are back the next day. But nobody thought about doing what Beverly did. And Beverly went ahead and went ahead and ran over them ducks. So the neighbors confronted her, and they said she was raging. She was angry, and she started telling them she has a right to run over those ducks for what they did to her yard. And then she had the audacity to tell the neighbors, from the footage that I watched, where the neighbors said that it was one hothead against the other hothead because the neighbors are mad, and she's telling the neighbors, oh, there'll be more ducks next year. They keep coming back. We can't stop the ducks. Listen, man, I know wildlife can be an inconvenience, but how do you think wildlife feels about us? Every time I drive down the road, I'm like, and I see squished animals, I ain't got nowhere to go. They ain't got nowhere to go. We keep building and developing and building and developing. Sooner or later, the only thing we're going to have is dogs, rats, roaches, cats, and some chickens. Everything else is going to be extinct because they ain't got nowhere to go. And we're destroying everything. And we're going to wonder why we're going to have to eat us some rat and roach soup, because we done destroyed the ecosystem that we're supposed to live in conjunction with. In the Bible, the Lord said, take care of the garden, tend to the garden. You know what I mean? Love the garden, name the animals. I'm talking about the Garden of Eden. But we done went crazy and started eating animals. And here we are today. And listen, there's nothing wrong. I like my chicken. Fried chicken is my favorite food. And I'm going to continue to eat the animals. But I'm not going to become so unhinged to where I intentionally try to run animals over. I'm going to tell y'all a story. My wife is an amazing person. She's one of the sweetest, most beautiful people that this world is blessed to have in its existence. You know what I mean? That's the type of person that my wife is. And everyone who meets her, without even knowing one another, says that about my wife. My wife was doing some door dashing recently over in Algiers, New Orleans, and she was riding, and there's a canal, and there was a family of ducks on the highway that got stuck in the middle of the road, and the mama was waiting for them, and cars were coming, and my wife stopped her car, held up the traffic, and guided the ducks across the highway. And it took like about 3 or 4 minutes, and some people were getting very impatient, hitting their horns. There was a guy, once the ducks made it over safely, there was a guy who looked at my wife and said, you know what, ma'am? You just don't see that too often. I really appreciate that you did that for this community, to show kindness like that. I hope somebody else saw it and thought to themselves, you know what? We need more of that. We should not be harming and hurting wildlife. We should be living in conjunction with it peacefully. I understand there's times to defend yourself if a wildlife attacks you. I'm not talking about that. You know what I'm talking about. If you just playing target practice and just plink, plink, plink. But look, here go my duck hunt. You remember duck hunt? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And that dog would pop out. And he laugh at you. Boom, boom, boom. And you blast the dog too. Because you're like, that dog ain't going to laugh at me. Pow, pow, pow. Nintendo Zapper. Got you, dog. And then you was like, dang, I lost the game because I couldn't control myself. We got to learn to control ourselves. There's a time to hunt the ducks, and there's a time to leave the ducks alone. That's why each state has duck hunting season, and you're allowed a limit of ducks, and you have a certain amount of time and tags to get your ducks. And when that's over with, then you live back peacefully with the ducks. I don't know what else to say. Welcome to the Pin and the Shank, the most unusual and unique crime and prison channel experience on YouTube. By the way, Beverly Salisbury was arrested, and she's charged with 11 felony counts of animal cruelty. She is going to be convicted of this, no doubt about it, in Florida. Florida is a southern state like Louisiana. They do everything they can. Louisiana is a sportsman's paradise. It prides itself on fishing and hunting. So there's a lot of animals. We have done a great job with protecting the bald eagle. There's large bald eagle populations in Louisiana. We have the largest alligator, probably population there is, in the country. Maybe Florida might have us beat with population, but I don't know. I put it on Louisiana. We have black bears that have came back from the brink of extinction to where now they're thriving in Louisiana. They're thriving so much that the state's actually allowing so many tags per year, and a pool where you can, put your name and try to get a tag to go hunt a black bear. So we're bringing that population back, and we do a good job because we have redfish, we have flounder. Some of the best fishing in the world is right outside the Mississippi River, going into the Gulf, and people enjoy it. But for us to have that, we have to have a healthy ecosystem where we live in conjunction with the animals, and that's protecting the waterways as well. And I'm kind of going off topic here, but I wanted to say that I think, some states do a good job. Anyway, this lady now has felonies because she couldn't control herself, and we don't want to be like Beverly, y'all. We want to be like my wife, and we want to help the ducks cross the road. So be kind and treat people with respect and treat wildlife with respect. And I promise you, if we each do that to our own capacity, that little bit of capacity that each one of us have will make the world a better place. Anyway, like and subscribe to The Pen and the Shank, and go check out this video or go check out some more of my videos. Hit that bell notification. Help this channel out. Let's get it going.